All right. You ready? All right. Let's murder these names. Hey, it's going to be terrible. Hey, you guys, it's us, the waifus. You're watching us now on our podcast. And today's topic is anime movies. So I would like to start off with, let's see, what was the first anime movie you guys watched? Anyone can go.
Are we counting like movies that were like, because I've seen like the Sailor Moon movies. Like, do those count?
Yes, we'll get into that later. It's just which anime movie popped your cherry? Which one was the first? A lot of them aren't good. Sometimes we get them.
Oh, mine was really good, and it's still one of my favorites. It was Sailor Moon, Our Promise of the Rose, and it's the one where there's that whole backstory with Tuxedo Mask where he like met an alien friend as a kid in the hospital after his parents died in the car wreck. And it was like, but it was so good. And I love it because the ending fight sequence is like really good. And it's one of my favorites. And it's super cheesy because he kisses her and that brings Sailor Moon back to life. And as a child, like that imprinted on me more than Disney movies. Like, yeah.
Booties.
It was so cute though. Like, I loved it.
Booties. Oh,
Mana.
I think mine's just Spirited Away.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that was a good first timer.
Yeah, I was really scared of it at first. Oh no. Actually, maybe it wasn't. Never mind. I realized I have to dig deeper because there's something buried there. Give me a second. Never mind.
Your subconscious just pulled something.
Annie?
Mine was also Spirited Away.
Ooh.
Solid choices.
Mm-hmm.
Shelby?
Mine, I feel like this is obvious, but mine was Pokemon, the first movie.
Oh yeah, if we're counting Pokemon, that was probably mine too then.
Yeah.
Damn.
I just literally watched it like maybe last summer, and I still cry over the part where the Pikachu slap each other. That's so sad.
It's
a tearjerker. I'm like, oh my god.
It's so emotional.
Yeah.
That movie. I think that was the second movie I ever saw in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you had to go because you got the limited edition card.
Yeah.
Like that they gave you that
yeah,
correlated
right.
with the movie. And so me and my brother went with my mom, and my mom said it was the only movie she ever fell asleep during.
My god.
In the theaters. But
why?
yeah.
It was great.
I loved it. I know, it's so good. And then they did like a CG remaster that's on Netflix. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, maybe it was Spirited Away. I don't know. I'm trying to think Escaflowne, but I can't figure out which one was first. Either Spirited Away or Escaflowne, which I've been pressuring you guys to watch.
See, I'm literally having the same problem because I'm pretty sure it was Princess Mononoke. But then when Shelby said Pokemon, I was like, oh, the 3-bird island when it's the lightning bird and fire
Oh,
bird.
yeah. Yep. That was,
yeah,
I forgot
what
about that
one.
It was something, it was an island in birds. It was 3 birds.
Yeah, it's Moltres.
Yep.
What are the other ones? Sorry.
Yeah, and Articuno.
Yeah.
And they go to this island, and there's these little orbs that they put in these like totems.
Yeah.
But then the orbs are like, yeah, it's like, but then the orbs are gone, and so Ash has to like go around and get them, and so all the legendary birds are fighting each other, and Lugia shows up, and
I vaguely remember that. I don't remember the plot so much though.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me like, if I could consciously put in a VHS, that's what it was. But being fucked up and watching things I wasn't supposed to watch at an early age, my first anime that I actually seen and watched was Ninja Scrolls, which, if you've seen it, you should know that's not what a child should watch. But
didn't you talk about that during one of the other podcasts, like as a recommendation?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought.
I mean, I was raised around mostly boys. I was the only girl for 7 years. Everyone else was damn near old enough to be my parent. So of course I watch things that I feel like my mind could handle, and I've been screwed ever since. All right. But the first anime was actually put out in 1917. It was called, here we go, I'm about to slaughter all these names. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Dikobo Sengacho, which is Failures of a Great Plan by one of the fathers of anime, which is Oten Shimokawa. And he is a well-known legendary manga artist. And this is just showing like before anime movies were happening, there were just a lot of painters and just artists going around and just making art. So basically film studios started hiring animators, and he was one of them. And back then animes were like 5 minutes. That was the runtime. Like they were more short films than they were actually long featured, you know.
Oh,
and
okay, gotcha.
they were not made by any cells, which I'm not. Shelby, what are cells? Yeah, you're a movie buff. I know there's illustrations and
What
stuff,
is
but
like-
they didn't have cells, which are.
Wait, they can't hear him. You should explain it to
I
them.
know. I was trying to think about it again, Mana. I was trying to.
I'm sorry. I was going to
Word.
say, are we just going to keep going with the secret voice they can't hear?
Cells is basically the whole picture projected onto the screen. They did not have that. Instead, they would draw on boards, chalkboards, and they were like still frames. So someone would come and draw on the chalkboard, take a shot, erase it, go back on the chalkboard. It was very time consuming and labor intensive.
It almost
But
sounds like stop motion a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like some of the old like Disney, I think they used to do that where they would draw and then picture and scan
Yeah.
it in and then draw in like old cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
yes, honey, they was getting it done. But they did not have color as well, and they were basically live music, but also silent. So kind of like the silent films, black and gray, you know, they would shoot something and then the words would show up later. So kind of think of that like an American culture that just stop motion, black and gray, live music. And with Open, I'm going to say his name. Lord forgives me if I'm saying these men's names wrong, but they're important for anime movies. But Oten, once again, Shimokawa, Januchi Kochi, and Satoru Kitayama.
Oh, that was
That
good. If
They
it helps,
basically-
if it helps at all, Japanese vowels just go a, e, o, and u. So if you think about that while you say it,
Yep.
I can't do that at the same time.
fair enough.
I'm country, but
Country.
I'm country. But that film, which was once again Failures of a Great Plan, is arguably the first anime because in 1917 there were at least 25 more short films produced at the same time. Because you have the three fathers, which I just named. I'm not going to say them again, but they were basically in cahoots. So they were hired by one mass film company, and they just went on to make similar projects. So that's the title for the first anime. But there were so many going on, no one knows really which one was first. So they just gave it to him. So after that, everything was very independent. So you have these manga artists and these painters basically becoming mainstream animators. So they even broke off and made their own film company. So after that, you see a lot of World War I just propaganda going on because anime was low budget and it was looking for funding. So while you have these film companies being just mass produced, you still have no money.
Right.
So after they would create their film companies, a lot of animators were government funded. They were also educational films. So anime was used for that until it broke out. So they were making, they basically had a side hustle, which was advertisement, commercial, all of that. So you have the main fathers doing this on the side, which creates funding. And you can kind of see that transform anime as well. But let me see what else.
So it's like the side stuff was kind of funding like the stuff they actually wanted to work on. Like, yeah.
But it was almost, it was getting bad because it was kind of like a good journalist writing tabloids. Everyone wants to read the tabloids, but there's not really any substance in it. So you see a lot of the animators having two choices, which is join the propaganda and join basically this wave, or you can make educational videos, or you can do commercials. So you really didn't have that much.
Sure.
Yeah, I was scared because I started running into things about Nazis. And I decided, I was like,
whoa.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's way interesting.
It's kind of like how animation would also be used like in commercials to scare you from smoking, or to animation has just been used to carry on a message in a more friendlier tone so it could be well received. So it's been used.
Yeah, political cartoons are still a thing.
Yeah, that's definitely still a thing.
Seems shared all the time.
And also, besides the low funding and basically selling their integrity, there was also natural disasters. For example, Sirito Kitayama had a studio, and it was totally demolished by the Great Kanto earthquake. So a lot of these companies went out of business before they could get started. They had great animators. It didn't matter. Like natural disasters happened, low funding happened, which really knocked everyone off the park or off.
Well, yeah. I mean, even after like the Kyoto Animation fire that happened like a year ago, like a very successful company, it took them like a long time to get back from that, just because like I don't think traditionally even now a lot of them use computers to like back up their work. And so especially back then, something like that happens and you have like months of work that are just scrapped. It's like, well, you know, you're kind of SOL, like
but you know, things looked up. In 1930s, the first talkie, which is the pre-recorded voice, was by Kenzo, entitled Within the World of Power and Women. So this was the one that actually had voiceover. So between 1917 and 1930s, no animes were being created with voiceover work. Once again, they were still just live music, things like that.
Was it still in black and white at this point?
It's still black and white at this point, yes, ma'am. You can kind of see there's no feminism here. Basically, this anime is about a man who cheats on his wife with his secretary, because his wife is so brooding. She's just so an annoyance. So he just throws himself into this affair.
We love it.
Yeah, love to see it.
Love to see it.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Fuck him.
When you said the title, and I was like, oh, like
that's
Power of Women. I was like, is this going to be some weird, like weirdly progressive thing for
that's
that?
What
no.
I thought. I was like, damn.
Sure wasn't. Yeah.
So it was an ironic title.
Exactly. So that's why I wanted to clear that up. I didn't want no one having any hope for this at all. So the first propaganda anime was once again made by Oten, and it was in 1945, I do believe. And it was once again government funded, but this was basically, he got the bag. So after he gets this bag from the government, it was actually sponsored by the Japanese Navy. And it was, let me see. I have it right. Nope, I don't. I do.
Like
Momotaro. I couldn't say it. Momotaro, the Sacred Sailor. And they're basically you remember it's sponsored by the Navy.
Yeah.
So they're all sailors, but they're anamorphic animals. So they're humans who transform into animals, but it's supposed to be about peace, love.
There's like anamorphic books.
I know, that's why I was just thinking of Animorphs.
Yeah, Momotaro is like one of the original Japanese folklore legends. So the fact that it was made into an anime sponsored by the Navy makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, they use that to their advantage, honestly. And the first one to actually use cells, which is printed on screen, was in 1934. So by the time we get to, say it again, Annie, you sound so distinguished.
Momotaro?
Yeah, there we go. We're actually seeing full images on screens at this point, and that was the first feature film running over 78 minutes. So that was the first like longest anime. So it took them almost 40 years, 30-ish years to evolve from that. So once again, I hit something. I can't see it, but I hit something. So from just hearing what you've heard so far, just to sum up everything, guys got together, kind of low budget, say, hey, we're good artists. We don't need these people. We're going to create our own content, but we need money. Okay. So you can kind of also see this with Disney. Disney actually got its big start with Cinderella and was actually bankrupt. So you can kind of see this later on with Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon actually saved a lot of animation film companies. We'll get to that later, but you can kind of see like how that coincides. Like you're only as good as your best next work, or if you can pay enough people to put it on the screen, I guess. Poor things. So who is everyone's favorite director? Because that goes into anime movies in general. The director is almost as good as the anime. Shelby, feel free to name any type of directors. This is movies, we're talking films, so.
Oh, so just in general?
In general,
okay.
And what makes a good director? Because I don't think a lot of people, once they see a movie, they think it's all actors, and I don't think that's.
Yeah. I will say my favorite director right now is Ari Aster. He does horror films mostly, and he is one of his films is my favorite film right now, called Midsummer. The other one is Hereditary, and
those are both like whoo, yeah.
Yes, and I like them so much because they're not so much of the formulaic horror films. They found a way to break out of that genre, and I think that's why both of those were like so successful. And I think that is a hallmark of a director and a writer. He wrote those films as well, and is to be able to break out, because people, especially Hollywood, likes to find a method that works, and they pound it in forever and ever. So when someone finally breaks that mold and becomes successful off of that, I think that's what makes a good director / writer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone?
Directors very well. So I'm going to go very basic, very stereotypical. Actually, no, let me look this up before I sound stupid.
It's the way she said it. I'm not laughing at it.
I've already done myself a disservice enough on these podcasts. Let me just.
Do you like Studio Ghibli, Mana?
I was looking up the name.
Do you want me to?
Miyazaki?
Yes. Do you like Miyazaki?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was just trying to help you out.
I know, it's fine. I just wanted to sound all smart, intelligent, figure it out for myself, and not have to have people fill in the blank.
Oh, I'm
How
sorry.
you think I feel trying to pronounce these damn names?
I'm sorry. I'm so bad at that.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm learning Japanese. Y'all watch. I'm gonna be a pro in a year. Give me a year. Damn it.
I support you.
Thank you. Annie or Danny, favorite director?
I'm also looking up a name. Hold on.
I'm just like, that's like a world that I'm not super like privy to. Like, I'm not a huge movie buff. And so I'm like trying to think of like my favorite movies and see if there's like a correlation. I was going to say Christopher Nolan, but I really
his new movie comes out soon.
Yeah, and it's getting really good reviews. The only reason I don't say him is because I did not like Inception that much. And
Inception. Is it a horror movie?
No, it's like a psychological thriller.
I love a dream within a dream within a dream.
Yeah. Like I thought it was fine.
No,
but
one of my favorite movies.
The little kid got
really.
It is
just because, like, well, the funniest thing is, so like, my mom isn't big on like ambiguous endings for things, and so at the very end, you know, the top spinning, and like it wobbles. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, the top fell because in the rest of the movie, whenever it was like spinning, like it never wavered. And I was like, it wavered, so it fell. But so like the top is spinning and then it cuts to black and the movie theater's like dead silent. And my mom just goes, what the heck?
I love that though.
I was laughing so hard.
When
like
movies cause that like visceral reation, I think that's when you know it's like impactful, whether you like it or not. And that's what's exciting about it.
Yeah. But I'll probably say Peter Jackson then, just because I love the Lord of the Rings movies so much. And I think like he did a really good job with those, but I really don't know that many directors because like my favorite movie is Jurassic Park and that's Steven Spielberg. So it's like, that's kind of a really basic answer too.
Wait, we could do any director of any, it didn't have to be like animation based.
Yeah.
No, just like any director.
Yeah, any director.
Well, I don't know any of the directors anyway, so.
I wrote down a few just because I didn't know who they were. Go ahead, Annie, because I didn't know.
So weird, but so I haven't actually seen any of his movies, but just I've done a lot of like reading about this person. So they're pretty like influential, I guess is the word. And important in I'd say the filmmaking history. And that's Akira Kurosawa.
Ooh,
and that's the director of The Seven Samurai.
That's my shit.
He's directed
many
30
movies.
films in the span of 50 years, and that was between 1910 and 1998. So that's really an important period.
You know how rare
of like
it is
the
to, like,
of like
direct
the
that
budding
Yeah.
film industry and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of reading about him, which is, I totally forgot his name, but like Akira Kurosawa is like one of the most
Yeah, I think he kind of like
influential.
like pioneered the Japanese film industry and even just like mainstream film too. But I heard about him because Ghost of Tsushima has a Kurosawa filter that you can put over the game where everything's in like grainy black and white as you play it, like in homage to him.
And then kind of like what's the word? A trolling kind of like I'm gonna troll you guys for a second, but Shia LaBeouf was the director of his own movie.
Yeah, he was.
And he played the main character and wrote the film and
wasn't that
It was a good film.
and so he did a nice job.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he did it. He's a director.
Yeah.
I
really like him. Like, I feel sorry for him. Like I read like a whole article about him because he was on the cover of GQ one time, and I always thought he was really cute, but he had a super weird childhood, and like his parents were just like really weird. Not to like harp on anyone's like parenting, but it like open like drug use and stuff in front of your kid is just kind of like, you know, a whole other ball game. But like that, and like his like he bounced around a lot between like with his parents, and then, you know, get thrust into child stardom with Even Stevens, and it's like I feel sorry for him, and I feel like he's like a really interesting person. like sometimes I do think just do it.
Right. And his song, like Running from Your Life from Shia LaBeouf. That whole like Shia LaBeouf song on YouTube. Jack, you're looking at me like you've never heard of this.
I've never heard
it's an experience.
Heard of it.
You gotta Google this.
I'm going to Google it, and I'm gonna just make the face, and I'm gonna tag you in it. Like,
awesome.
Whenever someone sells
LaBeouf
something,
song, and it'll come right up.
When someone sells something as an experience and they don't say if it's good or bad, that's usually a red flag.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like, oh, it's like, that's like, have any of you guys seen, this is like totally off topic. I'm sorry. We're like, but like, have any of you guys seen Don't Touch Me, I'm Scared?
This is why green is not a creative color.
No, green is not a creative color. But yeah, that's, you guys all need to watch that because that's something I would quantify as an experience. Like,
Salad Fingers is an experience.
I've never seen that, and I will go to my grave having never seen that because everyone's like,
Danielle!
oh, yeah.
It's so
like,
it is not upsetting. It's so calming.
I'll link it in the our chat. But yeah, now I'm gonna have that stuck in my head, Mana. Green is.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, we have a secret voice and they can't hear it. So sometimes we go silent and they just know we're talking to the secret voice in our heads.
Okay, sorry. We back.
Anyway.
Alrighty. So after the 1950s, you start to get very more familiar names that we kind of know, hold near and dear to our heart, the very OG. So in 1950, the Japanese, I want to get their name right because I'm not trying to put, misrepresent nobody. So Japan Animated Films were actually established, but then bought out 6 years later by, can anyone guess the major Japanese film company?
Toei Animation, maybe?
Yes!
Yeah! Toei owns everything. Toei is the Disney of Japan.
Like, so seriously, as soon as someone made it, they snatched it up in 6 years. So Toei comes in and they come in with a bang with the first colored anime, which was called, let's see, it was Hakujaden, The Tale of the White Serpent. So that was all in color, still running around 78 minutes. And then you just see everything spilling out from there. Anime starts getting a little more audience. You see things growing. And actually, you see more manga artists and series turning into anime films now. So you kind of see more of a crossover of OVA. Oh, sorry. Is it OAV? Y'all know I'm slightly dyslexic.
OVA.
Yeah, that one. You see more of those, especially from one of the manga gods. His name is Tezuka. Is that it? Tezuka. Oh, sweet. I said that one right. Okay. So Tezuka actually partners with Toei to create one of his famous manga series, which is Son Goku, Legend of the Monkey King. See? Mm-hmm. So, Mana, that's the expression I wanted to see. Exactly.
Okay, let's calm down now. Let's not get out of it.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm pretty sure we can all see the speculation happening. Mm-hmm. So that's just stop it. But after that, Tezuka, his contract was up and he honestly didn't like the way Toei was doing things. So he actually started his own company, once again, branching off to do Mushipo. I believe that is the name of his company. And he actually took a lot of Toei staff with him when he left. So this was just a manga artist who actually
poached him.
Yeah, which, if you think about it, when you have an artistry and you're working with other artists, it's very common to see them share of minds. Mm-hmm. So he could have honestly got into the studio and was teaching and was, making great connections. And they were just like, hey, we love your project. We're just going to work on it with you. You see that a lot of times, in Nickelodeon, the creators of the Avatar had actually hands in creating, Fairly Odd Parents. You see this a lot. Just in animation companies and production film companies, they'll just take people, recycle them, leave.
Is that actually true? Did the people on Avatar work on Fairly Odd Parents, or did you just make that up?
I honestly think there's some correlation. I think there's either an animator who worked with them.
Okay, I was just wondering because I was I love both of those shows.
They're good shows.
Yeah, it's either a co-creator or it's an animator. Who? Yeah, I was gonna say I know there's something.
There's something.
There's
Rad.
something.
Okay, I was just wondering.
No, you're fine. And so actually when he left, he took the first Japanese animator woman with him. and her name was Kazuko Nakazumo. That's her name, Kazumo.
I wonder if the makers of Teen Titans ever had a hand in like double stuff.
Like the OG Teen Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
would make sense.
Hey, so they actually said the old Teen Titans got canceled because when they originally released it, it was supposed to be for a boy demographic, but like young kids. So it was honestly targeted towards young boys, but they noticed like girls and older people, like preteens and like adults were watching Teen Titans.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, but the merchandise that was targeted to sell were not selling. The girls wanted more cutesy stuff. And of course, teens and adults do not buy merch. So they cut it, redid it. And that's why you see it's all
Teen Titans
now.
Go.
It's very cutie now.
Yeah, Teen Titans Go isn't. Like, it has its moments where it's very like self-aware and funny, but like OG Teen Titans was just so good and way ahead of its time.
I miss Hi Puffy, Ami Misha.
That I also watched that during the summer at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was the best.
That's my shit. But that's just an example of how, like, even going back to propaganda, like the money fuels the message sometimes. And so it's like whatever you're targeting, you're going to have to draw these people in because we need money. That's how some of them think. Fuck the artistry. Don't fuck the artistry. I'm being kind. But the first female Japanese animator was taken, and she goes later to produce Princess Knight under that. I don't know if you've seen it, Mana. It sounds like something you would watch. Princess Knight. No one knows.
I might have, maybe, possibly, once upon a time. Any more details?
It sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, it sounds. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. So 1960s, you see more animation on television. This is where you see Astro Boy. This is where, once again, it's reaching a wider audience in media. And then you have the 1980s, which is the golden age. So from the 1960s to the 1980s, you'll see more robots, technology, spaceships. You see
Makes
really
sense.
Exactly. And not only that, but you kind of see like the World War II still kind of,
Yeah.
you know, reminiscences. Ooh,
Yeah, sure.
off of that. So once again, more computers, technologies, all that's starting to like develop as well. So with the golden age, it's more called that because you have the introduction of VHS tapes. So from there, they don't have to go straight to theaters. Everything went straight to VHSs. That's where you get what is it again, Danny?
What?
OAV?
OVA.
OVA. OVA. Thank you. I
just call it an OVA.
Like originally animated script. So in my head is OAV, but it's OVA. See?
Like the anime is OVA. Usually I only see OVAs after I finish the anime, so I think OVA.
Oh, that's funny.
That was cute.
That was cute.
But you see a lot of films on VHSs, and even then, these were more educational videos. They weren't really like super, super big. They were still more of teaching children and piggybacking off of that. Of course, you still had original scripts, but it was mostly for education. So what makes an iconic movie? Like there's critically acclaimed, like forget the awards. I could go into box office numbers. I'm not going to do that. What makes an iconic movie? Or what makes an iconic anime movie? Anyone?
Have to give me a minute on that one.
What makes it?
What makes an iconic or good?
What makes it iconic?
Iconic.
Yeah, because iconic could be bad.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, like Spirited Away is iconic.
The art. There we go.
Shell.
The art style of the animation, depending on when it came out, I feel like certain things were very ahead of its time, and so that's
for sure.
Iconic.
I would say it's kind of a trifecta, at least when it comes to anime or like animated movies, of art style, acting, and music. All just like combining and correlating into like one perfect thing that just like it just hits you. I don't know. It's like an emotional experience. There was actually a thing on Twitter not that long ago that was trending where it was name a movie that you have like zero critique for, that you wouldn't change anything about.
Ooh.
And so I was like trying to think of like, because those are obviously like iconic movies, and so it's like, why are those so good? And I guess like in live action ones, in place of art style, it could just be like cinematography of like lighting and staging and like stuff like that.
Definitely. I would say in terms of live action, like casts can be iconic, like movies that cast like a lot of quote unquote like famous people. Those can be iconic.
Okay. I like storylines. I feel like there's like this thing that happens in movies. This is how I know if it's a good movie or not, which to me makes it iconic, is if you forget you're watching a movie. Like in that split second, you forget these are really actors and someone wrote this, when it's just like, this is happening. To me, that makes it iconic. Because it's like, girl, that is not Johnny Depp. That is the man. I don't know what he's his own person in real life. He's free. Like, that makes me like, oh my God, have you seen this?
Where it's like you're so engrossed in it that it's like you're a part of the experience. Yeah, I would agree with that.
What about you?
I would say something that evokes an emotion or a thought. For example, I don't know, the Lord of the Rings movies always evoke such a feeling of like nostalgia, in that you could like go and have an adventure in the woods with your friends. And so it evokes that kind of like warm nostalgia like feeling. Or in the case of Inception, it like makes you think about like the possibilities of parallel universes and things like that. And it
that's me and Shelby.
Makes you wanting more. So I think a movie that can make you think or feel is iconic and good. So
the Lord of the Rings movies are just so full of hope. Like,
they are.
That's such a like
Samwise Gamgee.
And like
Lord of the Rings.
Like my like one thing. So this is gonna kind of like age me, but before like cell phones and stuff, it's like we had like a portable DVD player in our car that we would have for like long car trips.
I remember that.
And one of the movies that me and my brother would always bring is Lord of the Rings 2 Towers, so that we could watch like the battle at Helm's Deep and all of the like the fight scenes over and over again. And I just love that scene when Gandalf shows up on the horse, and it's like he's like on the dawn of the third day, and it's just like, oh, like it's just so good. Sorry, I'm just like, but yeah, those movies are so emotional, and they're so.
Yeah, I would watch Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy on those little DVD
We would bring
players.
Pirates too, yeah. Like, oh my gosh,
like on road trips and stuff. Watch them in the car.
Absolutely.
Did you guys know the new Pirates movie with Margot Robbie?
I did know that.
Pirates movie?
Actually.
With Margot.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I saw the original trilogy, which I will stand by that those are good movies, and I think they're great. Like, you know, that was a great cast of Johnny Depp, Keira Knightley, and Orlando Bloom. But
fourth movie doesn't exist. The fifth one was
the fourth one. I saw the fourth one, and I was like, I hate this, and then I gave up.
The fifth one is actually pretty good, so if you didn't watch it, I recommend it.
Yeah, I need to. I didn't.
Obviously, it's not as good as the first, but it's.
Wait, Mana, you haven't seen Lord of the Rings?
No.
Down, because we gotta talk about no Lord of the Rings, no what was it, Charlie's Angels, and no Avengers. We're gonna have to discuss all this with Mana. Please.
I suggest that if and when we do Dungeons and Dragons, we should have like a Lord of the Rings movie marathon.
Yes.
To get us all hyped up for
12 hours of the extended director cut.
And that's not even including the Hobbit trilogy.
Look at me and Mana like.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Extended cut versions.
The 4-hour ones.
I'm gonna take a nap. Wake back up.
Isn't Lord of the Rings a girl that climbs out of the well?
We might as well make a whole.
No, that's the ring.
Yeah, that's the
Right.
different ring.
Different ring. Different ring.
Different ring.
That was iconic. That was iconic, Mom.
Yeah.
Who is the director of The Grudge? Do you know who that is?
Which
No.
one?
Mama, The Grudge ain't even that good to be like,
It's scary.
The Grudge.
The original one?
It's terrifying.
I'm sorry. You meant.
What's that
Oh,
one? I
man.
remember hearing about that. What's that one about?
The Grudge. I don't know. It's the girl with the long hair.
It's the girl in the long hair that goes like.
It was directed by
But that's also the
Takashi
ring. Like
Shimizu. Takashi.
Which one came first, The Ring or The Grudge? I feel like The Grudge, maybe.
The Ring, definitely.
I thought The Ring was like really old because I
Yeah,
think The
The
Ring
Ring
was originally a
definitely-
Japanese movie that then we took over and Americanized, and then
That's
The
enough.
Ring was
popular.
2002. The Grudge was 2004.
yeah, so
Same.
right around the same time,
Yeah.
with girls in long black hair in front of their faces.
Yeah, So,
Shelby puts her.
Yeah, like this.
Like this? Like
If
this?
you have long dark hair, you've absolutely, because I've done that too when my hair was long. It's like you pull it in front of your face and you're just blah. Like,
oh, I'm thinking of so many pranks on you, Mana. Shelby, I need your help. Oh, this is great.
You mother
Sleep
son
over at
of an
Mama's house.
applesauce.
Wait till she in the shower. I'm gonna put her.
did you say son of an applesauce?
Don't you
I
dare.
love that. I'm gonna start using that.
Don't you dare. Listen, Himana does not
Oh
do-
man, when spoopy season comes up,
No.
Yeah.
No.
I got him, Mana. This is
I
gonna be
should
so
go as
fun.
the Grudge one year for
Just
Halloween.
no. I will fight you. I will fight you.
fine.
I will tackle you, and someone will be suffering the consequences of inciting fear within my body.
It will be worth it for the view.
No.
No.
Film it. It'd be a vlog. Me and Jack
Yes.
do a vlog to scare Mana.
that'd be
Mana, okay, I'm sorry. Don't think about it. It's probably still gonna happen. Just don't think about it. Okay?
Did she pause? or-
Oh no! Did she freeze?
No, I don't think she is. Yep, she
Oh
was.
no!
on.
There she is.
that was a commitment to the bit.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Jack's mic just went off.
Jack! Yelling at her is not going to help.
It's okay, Mana. I'm a scaredy cat too. I don't like scary movies, and I don't do like haunted houses or any of that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
scare Danielle.
either.
She's the tough guy over here who works out and shit. It's much more satisfying to get fear out of her, Mrs. I can beat anybody up, than me, Mrs.
No, I
like
can't beat
rainbows and
people up.
butterflies.
Yeah,
Not true.
yeah. Screw you, then. I'll join up with them to scare you.
That's not the point.
No, that's what you
I'm out here trying to help, but
Yeah, but nobody. Okay.
Just
It's
say
okay.
scare Danielle instead of me,
oh
basically.
no, I might punch somebody if that happens.
We're
No, I
gonna
won't
wrap.
punch anybody, but I'm not
We're
talking
wrapping.
to anybody.
We're wrapping
Anyway.
up.
Oh, Mana.
I am sensitive.
Sensitive.
I kind of like that.
Sensitive.
Okay.
Listen,
So-
I'm a Pisces moon. I'm the sensitive
I'm a
one.
Pisces moon. We're both
emo
fire signs of
emo
Pisces
squad,
moon.
what up?
They're gonna be like, Jack's phone is not working. It's not. All
There
right.
you go. You're good.
We're good. We're good to go. So actually, Akira, which is a very iconic anime. So Ghost in the Shell, anything
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli.
Ooh, Ghost in the Shell. It's good.
Akira is actually the first movie where the mouth movements were made to match the sounds of the actors. Before then,
Oh.
it was totally
Just like-
backwards. Yeah, the voice
generic.
actors
Yeah, like yeah.
the mouth of the animation.
Mhm.
So that's where you see even more technology come out from. So it's kind of amazing to think, wow, in less than like 100 years, went from chalkboards to cutouts to like silhouettes to cells to transparency to actually filming. So the art of animation grew with movies, actually. So that's kind of, gives me a nice warm feeling in my heart. I would like to think so. So we would not be complete of talking about anime movies if we did not talk about OVAs. Do they count or not? So for anyone who doesn't know, I know this might sound hypocritical because I kept asking Danny what it was called, but honestly, that's because the acronyms threw me off because it's an original animated video or script. So, but anyway, those are basically anime movies that are originally scripted and have went straight to DVD. So as soon as DVDs started coming out, you see way more OVAs. You see a lot more manga and television series OVAs as well, because an OVA, as long as it's an original script, it can still be based off a series or a manga. So my question to you guys is, do they technically count in the series? Because a lot of OVAs don't really coincide with the storyline. They're usually considered one big episode if they're based off of TV series or off of manga. It's just like, oh, this is what happened, and it's so long, we don't want to give it to you in 3 episodes type of thing. So do those count? Because a lot of those, like Inuyasha, there's so many things that happen in those movies that when you start back watching the series, you're like, but shouldn't you have that sword? Shouldn't you, oh, we talked about this. Like, you kind of want that correlation. So do those count when we're talking about the story arcs?
Wait, and like just in terms of the story arcs?
Just in terms of the story arc. Like, do those count? Like, there are so many Naruto movies that you kind of have to think like, ooh, if I was watching the series, would I watch this movie and then finish watching the series because this movie is important to get the other series? Or is it kind of like, I can watch this movie whenever because it technically does not correlate with the storyline? So do OVAs count when it comes to the original story arc? As far as like, do you watch them in order? Are they just like,
they don't correlate to the storyline, right?
Yeah, because some of them I won't, because I'm like, I can't get back into the mind space of the series. So do they count when it comes to part of the series? Do you count OVAs as part of the series, or no, you do not?
I mean, I can't speak from experience because I haven't watched them, but if they're not like adding to the series story arc and it's standalone, then I would say it's not important to watch it in terms of like getting the full story of a particular season. But I mean, if you like the show, I mean, watch the movie. It's just more content, but
that's true.
Yeah, that's tough because, well, and so like in terms of Sailor Moon, so at least like the American ones that got released, there were 3 of them. One was, I can't think of the name. I can only think of Promise of the Rose, but one of them was actually like canon, so to speak, because it was based off of a like B plot that happened in the manga. They just like extended it into a whole, like 75-minute movie. But then the other 2, they like never talk about during the series. And so it's like, are those considered canon? Because if they are, then I would consider that part of the series. But since they're not canon, it's like, does that just mean they're standalone movies that they just like, kind of did for kicks? Like, I don't know. That's a really tough question.
Because I mean, there was the one Inuyasha movie, I think the one with the sword, don't forgive me the name, but they meet his dad. Like, his dad has a sword, and if you know anything about Inuyasha, that's like a big major thing. And I'm like, does this go with the series? Because technically y'all met his daddy, Kagome, that's a big thing for you. Like, you met Pops. Well, she didn't meet him, but so it's like, in the OVAs, there are sometimes like way major key components that you have to think about, like, wow, could they just not fit this in the series? Or, that was just, I would like to say they count.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say they count.
Yeah, I'm tempted. Only because it's like, even if, once again, you can always count it as extra content. It's like, this is the episode that's just super long, versus getting mad because I'm petty and be like, yeah, they don't bring this up no more. They only
Yeah.
talk about it in this movie. One more question, and I'm gonna let you guys go because I feel like I've been rambling. I wanted to talk about crossovers, like how anime movies came over here. I wanted to talk about release dates, like how movies over there have been out for like years and we just get them. I want to talk about stealing movies, America.
Rip, what's it called? Kiss Anime or whatever, the website that everyone used to rip their.
No, is it gone?
Yeah, it's shut down.
No.
Yeah, just like the past like week or so. It's gone.
Rude.
One last question. If you could be in an anime movie, which one would it be? Like if you could play a role or if someone could animate you into the movie, which movie would you be a part of? Like, and when I mean movie, I mean like the whole world. So if you say Avengers, be prepared to be a damn.
Oh, so
Avengers.
just any movie, not an anime movie.
No, it's still anime.
Okay. Well, you said Avengers, so I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, so any movie?
It was a bad example.
I am very tempted to say any of the Ghibli movies just because of the food. Like,
I'd want to say maybe I haven't seen a lot of Ghibli movies. I've only seen My Neighbor Totoro and Spirited Away, so I can only go off those movie animation wise. But I would have to say My Neighbor Totoro, maybe, just because like it's such a laid back movie and everyone's just having fun. I want to say Spirited Away more though because there's more action and plot. Plus, I'd get to meet Haku. But
he would still be a child, but he's a dragon. So does that count?
Japan and its strange loopholes. I don't want to talk about it.
We'll talk about that.
I was actually just thinking about Totoro like 2 days ago because like, do any of you guys ever get that like, man, I just want to like move out to the country and have a little cabin and like start a farm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like fantasy in your head because I've been
so
busy.
like raising kids and stuff.
I don't want kids. I
don't want kids.
I said that, but that's not how I said it. But
y'all can definitely babysit mines. Y'all do not need. I got the best birth control ever. It's called 3 kids.
I'll be the best aunt whenever my brother and his wife decide to have kids, if they decide to have kids. But other than that,
I want to see your children.
I love you too. Go sit down. See, there was one there.
Well, I just think, like sometimes like if it were to happen, I would want to raise them in a cottage in the woods away from everybody.
Right? Like
away from the toxicity of the world.
I just want to like grow my own food and like have a little farm and have a little like 2-room house. And so I was thinking about Totoro and I was like, oh, that would be just the best.
Well, you're into cottage core is what I'm hearing right now.
I do want a cottage. I want 5 acres. I'm gonna get it too. I want to be that old witch in the woods. Like I want to be
we talked about that. Yeah, to just be we all want to just be these old like mysterious ladies who live in the woods. Which sounds like the beginning of like a like Hansel and Gretel like
sounds like murder.
But
so Shelby, what movie would you be in? It doesn't matter which movie.
What? Now it doesn't matter?
Well, she hasn't seen
Shelby gets the pass.
Okay.
Shelby gets the pass.
You're right.
Shelby could always say Pokemon.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I feel like Pokemon is the basic answer. I might go with the theme of just because it's in my head. It would be fun to be in a world like Inception, so you could go into people's dreams. That'd be cool.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm thinking of the right movie when you say Inception. That's the one where the little boy gets lost and meets the guy who's got red skin, right?
No, that's Insidious. That's Insidious.
Oh,
that's Insidious.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Inception is the one with Leonardo DiCaprio who goes inside people's dreams.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it too.
In his sleep.
Hart, is he in that?
Is there a scene where like the walls turn sideways?
Yeah.
Ellen Page is in it too.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah.
There's a top that spins frequently.
I would not want to be Leonardo DiCaprio's character though, just to make
he is tortured.
Goodness.
But it would be fun to be in a world where that could happen, or any world that has like discovered like parallel worlds, or like one that can time travel, or something sci-fi. That's definitely it. Something sci-fi.
That's a good answer.
would definitely do Howl's Moving Castle. That
That'd be
bacon,
cool.
yeah,
That one.
so good. And any man who can give me my own realm where I can just like, and it's just flowers and water, and he's just like, this is for you. Like, I gave you your own land and you have income. So I made you a flower shop. We can decorate the house how you want to. Just stand on the symbols, and he's sexy. Yes, I'll be in.
That's the dream.
I would like to know, because I haven't seen them, which one is better, Princess Mononoke or Howl's Moving Castle?
They're totally
That's
different.
hard.
Cannot compare them. They're both great. I'm not pinning one against each other.
Oh, sensitive there.
That
Okay.
was a strong.
But if you were to watch one before the other, watch Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Watch
Did
it.
any of you guys see Your Name when it came out?
No, and that's #1 in the box office. I really want to
Yeah, I
see
haven't
it.
seen it.
I saw it came out like trying to think how many years ago. Maybe like 4, because I was still in St. Louis when that came out. So yeah, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago at this point. And yeah, it came out like right around my birthday. And so that was like my birthday present was I went to go see that, and it emotionally destroyed me, but it was so good. Because I was going to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
want to
What's
see
it
it.
about? I don't
um
know anything about it.
boy meets girl. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Because anything else, if I start talking about more, then I know I'll spoil something. But
Shelby, we gonna watch it. We gonna watch it.
Okay.
it was like it reminds me a lot of like stylistically of Kyoto Animation, because there's these like beautiful watercolor skies, and it's like seeing that on a big screen was just like really crazy, where it's like, you know, an entire wall and it's like stars in the sky, and it's like you feel like you're like looking up at the galaxies, and it was like they did these like really big sweeping shots, and so it was just like cinematically it's beautiful, and
It
it's
sounds beautiful.
it's a really good movie.
Annie.
In terms of being in an animated movie,
Moana.
Wait a minute. No, that's not animation. She can't do that. Or else I get to re-choose too.
No, it was a joke, Mana.
I mean, I'm stuck on my live action movie pick, but goodness.
I'm curious. What is it?
I mean, similar to what Mana said about Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service
Yeah.
is like full of delicious bread and
Yes.
can ride around on a broom and
that'd be
just
so
be
cool.
charming on a town by the sea. And
Yeah.
there's no like war or anything going on. And
Like,
Yeah, like any of the like slower Ghibli movies,
Yeah.
it's like the equivalent of living in Animal Crossing.
yeah.
Of just like you don't have anything to really worry about. It's just like this
For the
really
98,000 bells I fucking owe.
it's that like dreamy, like there's not a lot of like pressure on anything. Like so good.
I haven't touched my Animal Crossing in like forever, just because everyone's towns are great, and like I can't figure out how to get started or improve, and I'm tired and it's upsetting and I don't like it.
Yeah, you can't look
It's a
at the
waste of
internet.
$60.
No, just don't. You can't look at like what the internet's doing, because there are people who have sunk like 400 hours into it. And I still don't have a 4-star town because freaking Isabel keeps telling me I need more furniture on my island. And I'm like, listen, it is looking cluttered. Stop telling me to put crap on the ground. And it's making me really mad. But
I was literally lost. All that flew over my
sorry.
head. Why the fuck are we here and Danny got an island for?
I'm secretly rich, actually, but
I fucking called it.
Let's fall on Danny's island. I'm pretty sure she got a yacht. That's a joke. It's yacht.
Wait, do you mean a yacht?
That was the joke, Anne.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I
I
wasn't
missed
getting my
the
jokes
joke.
today. Everybody thinks
I got it.
I didn't get it. It
Get
just
it.
went-
I was gonna say, wait.
I understand your sense of humor, Jack.
thank you because I'm a Scorpio moon.
I'm Scorpio dominant, so I feel that.
Wait, what? No, you're an Aries, aren't you?
No, but all my other all my other planet signs aside from Mars and Venus are like Scorpio, and so it's like your Scorpio, it's like you're dominant based on like whatever your main sign. Like I'm an Aries sun, Pisces moon, and a Capricorn rising. But aside from like a couple other things, everything else is Scorpio. So it's like I'm a Scorpio dominant.
I'm a Pisces to my motherfucking core. I swear.
Sagittarius dominant then, because a lot of my stuff is in Sagittarius.
Mm-hmm.
Know what my
I'd
what
need
my
to look.
planets are in.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to.
What did you say, Shelby? Shelby.
I said I'd need to look.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
right.
go.
I don't know what my planets are in. I just know my
Yeah, I charted like my birth chart
Same.
one summer, like as you do.
Yeah.
See,
I did.
mine are fairly even throughout. I have a lot of 2s.
Ooh.
What's 2 mean?
A lot of planets in two signs. Like I have
okay.
Saturn and an Aries moon, a Mars Leo and a Venus Leo.
Oh, okay.
Capricorns, 2 Virgos.
Oh, so you're pretty like even split. Like,
Mhm.
So you're the
Wait,
best
what's your main
balance
sign?
out of us all.
I'm a Libra.
Oh, Shelby's a
Libra.
I forget that.
No, I mean like the duality in each planet, like in your Leo, 2 sides. Makes...
Yeah.
that was funny. No, it's just the tone that you said that. Just you're a Libra. Oh.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Sorry.
Love you, Shelby. I don't know. I'm just moody. It's Pisces sun, Scorpio moon, Cancer ascending. I'm
So your
that
water
is so
sign
much
out the
mood.
yeah.
That is so much mood.
That's water signs out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, we're
Okay.
done. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Hey, you guys, thanks for joining in for talking about anime movies. Once again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. And don't forget to look over to see what we're watching. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Guys, I got a duck in North Carolina. I got another duck. His name's Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Because he's a football.
Because he is a Chad.
And our topic for next week is Beginner's Guide to Anime, which is hosted by yours truly. So be sure to tune in for that.
Yay. Okay.
Hey. Till next time, it's a wrap.